Hello once again. Just checking my setup, and I think we can go. I guess I'm going to start by playing the game, and I fell through the floor. What a great start. This game is not totally bug-free. I was hoping it would be, but you don't get that. And someone is talking over me. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to get into it and play the game and let you watch. The version that you've been playing on Cool Math is an old version with fewer animations, 2D animations, more basic physics. It is the same game, more or less, just remastered. Yes, there are. You don't get to see the swooshing level transition or the level building itself in front of you. Tips for streaming. I'm not quite sure what kind of tips you want, but if it's tips on how to draw a big audience, you've clearly come to the wrong person. But that's fine with me. I'm happy enough with doing a setup and some small streams, and those who get to show up, those who show up get to see all this. Yeah, there is kind of a trade-off between nostalgia and what's new. The animation bugged out for a second. It's still doing it. I may need to recompile to get rid of that. But anyway, I've kind of decided to keep a lot of stuff the same, but like where feasible. But not everything, because there are some things I don't like so much, and I think it's fairly important to get them fixed eventually. So I think I mentioned last stream that there was coyote time in this game, and that was actually a lie. I looked it up, I hadn't put it in, and so I have now. And now, if you run off the edge, you are still able to jump a little bit. It's also easier, I don't know compared to the first one. Like the original that's publicly available, it's not that hard to catch the walls. As long as you're close, it's going to rotate, and after it rotates, you can potentially land. But this one, well, A has more advanced collision, and B, all of a sudden you can. Why am I even talking about this now? This matters at level 49, level 50. When you're barely making jumps, and you gotta catch on to the corner of a thing like that. But you can't overdo it, or you get bounced away instead. But yeah, so lots of. Here I am telling you about the problems I fixed, and I don't think I showed those problems before. Yeah, it's called Coyote Time as a direct reference. and as the extra credits put it, you'd be hard-pressed to find a quality platformer that didn't include it. It's just... there are multiple reasons, from players learning the game to actual input delay, but it can be easy enough to fall and be certain that you hit the jump button, but the game didn't respond, and it's not really possible to fix. Like, I've fixed what input delay I can, but it's if there's still input delay, there's not much I can do about it. That's like in the computer or whatever, and I don't have control over that. So the best I can do is give you a little bit of a window after it should be too late. And I saved that one. So I don't know that this has to be a long stream. I'm just sort of demonstrating the game, letting you see it in its full glory. Yes, months of work. I looked back on my last stream, and I was over the summer, at least the Northern Hemisphere's summer. And I was working on stuff that I only got around to finishing about now. Yeah, it keeps skipping the landing animation. And I think that'll go away if I can compile it again. It's sort of random whether it makes it into a build, and so the trick is to just make a build without it, and then it's fixed. Or the trick is to release a build that doesn't have it. Rebuild if it does have it. Someday I need to actually fix it, but got a deadline coming up in a couple days. Been working overtime to do lots of little tweaks and stuff. I guess I should show you the pause menu. It's a pause menu, not too unlike the old one, except you get to see the game still. There are fewer things on screen, if I recall, because I kind of tried to make it so you don't need to have a control setting. I just set a frame rate of 60 FPS. Maybe I will bring back the frame rate control. I don't know about that, but it's certainly possible. I might just up the frame rate in faster intense, or I think the ideal thing would be if I can figure out what frame rate your monitor displays at and set that frame rate, then it would look really nice. The code won't be available. Yeah, I'm not open sourcing this at the moment. Does it auto jump? Yes, the thing that picks you up and sweeps you along is automatic. I'm planning to add, this is not going to make it in time for release. It's one of many things that won't make it in time for release. But I'm planning to add, animations, maybe a whooshing sound as of flying through high-speed wind or whatever. Or maybe some kind of force field, or I did a stream about brainstorming ideas, and a lot of those ideas are on the table. Do background scenery. There's space-themed objects you fly by. So far, no one has mourned the loss of the stoplight, start light thing. So I'm not going to be in a rush to bring that back unless people really get nostalgic. I did brainstorm ideas of how to sort of bring back the idea of the 3 flashing lights and the thing saying start. But again, that would mostly exist as a reference, and it's kind of up to the community if you care enough about that reference to want to bring it back. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be impossible to just release the Flash source code, given how hard it is to use that. But then, given how hard it is to use that, what would be the point? I don't want to get into a situation where I've released code for the Flash version and people, like, someone actually goes to the trouble of making use of it, and now there is, like, an old, comparatively much worse version of the game that is the sort of community modded version that everybody plays because it's the community modded version. When, well, yeah, just in general, as far as both quality of game and how modders might, how much trouble modders might actually have working with it, this new version is so much better behind the scenes. Like, I'm honestly, in the past, I might also have said I'm embarrassed at people seeing how horrible my code was, but I think that's not really a problem. People would understand that it was a decade ago, and you can see the difference in game quality just in general, how much smoother things are, and that I don't have to prove that I've gotten better at coding since then. So that's not really anything that would stop me. Oops, okay, so you can't do it that way. There is a way to jump that gap. But I'm not going to show it, I'm going to let you. The lack of a landing animation is bugging me. I think I'm going to pause, put this on hold, and recompile, and hope that it fixes it.
Gotta be clever. Play them at their own game. First thing is to get Joey running again.
Okay, well, we got the runner running again. I don't know if that counts. So hopefully that will animate better. I didn't change anything, I just recompiled it. A breath of fresh nothing for run. The problem is that Run 1 is not designed for that. I brought back the thing where it just makes you fall the moment you leave. When is this going to release? As I think it should say in the description, the release will be on around the 12th or so, and there will actually be a beta before the 12th. So we're closing in on release, and I have been putting in some extra time to fix up a lot of stuff. Like, literally in the minutes leading up to the stream, I was fixing yet another bug. There was the level select menu could get stuck on a level, and it wouldn't let you switch levels anymore after that. And I finally tracked it down, and it was obviously it was the kind of thing where well, obviously to me, it was the kind of thing where it was a real simple problem to fix once I found it, and it just took a better part of an hour to track it down, and then one line of code to fix it. Oh yeah, another change, it's so much easier to do this. Like, I know it already was possible, but the edges are more forgiving now, and I don't... I actually tried to see about making it, like...
Welcome back, Joey.
Welcome back.
Is this the best shell you could find?
Okay, that's... anyway, as I was saying, walking across gaps, I tried to bring back the way it worked before, but the new physics are different in various ways, and various generally more forgiving ways. And it didn't work out, and I do like a lot of the new changes, so I don't want to change it enough that it will just to ruin someone's day if they like to walk across corners like this. That said, this level, conveniently we got to this level. This level was actually designed specifically based on the idea that you could not do this at all, that you would have to be like pixel perfect to do it. Because in the very original run, that's exactly how it was. Wherever your center of gravity was, you only collided with that tile. I'm over the center. My center of gravity is off this. I would just fall right through in the very original release of Run 1. And whereas here I can walk along, I can be pushed off slowly, but I can also jump and recover and so on. But the point is, the easy walking across does bring your center of gravity over empty space, and that means you fall through. And in the original, once you started falling, you were done. You would just go like right through the tile collision, because it wasn't until Run 2 that I fixed that, and I backported Run 2's engine to Run 1, which is what you see today. If you go, if you still have Flash running, and you go play the Flash version, that's what you'll see is the backported engine, which will allow you to cross the gap. But in the original version of this level, when I first designed it, it was at least the early parts were based on the exact premise that you could not run from that to that. You have to jump on one or the other, and the jump lengths also meant that you couldn't jump from here and get to there. So you would, if you got onto this one, you would have to go for that one over on the wall, or there. And I guess it wasn't that bad, but it was a bigger challenge than just walking further and then jumping. It's definitely a tougher jump than doing that. And in addition, in order to which one of these you landed on depended on how you approached the first part of the level. From here, you can get to there, but if you land on this one, you would. Okay, I guess it wasn't that bad overall, but there were a couple jumps he made that sort of committed you to going somewhere else next. I don't know. I think there were other details with physics that made it harder on top of that. Because it's certainly easy no matter how I play it nowadays. Oh, and probably this was the exact same thing as you got to get ahead of the curve in order to get on here, which you still kind of do, but it's easier. Yeah, it was actually an infinite level that I played that inspired this. In fact, I think I copy pasted the code, so it randomly generated a little puzzle of having to. I think the main puzzle was you want to get onto this one because this one is the only way to get to this one, and this one is the only way to easily jump to here. Even though now everything is easy. And so I was playing the level and I died a couple times and I realized there was a puzzle embedded in it based on the current physics of the game. And so I copy-pasted that and turned it into an official level and cleaned it up. There was a lot of just debris around as usual for the infinite levels. Okay, going and reading chat, catching up there. It's higher quality, but just looks wrong. Yeah, I'm hoping that it doesn't rub too many people the wrong way. I do know that is always a risk of updating stuff. And it does do. It is animating via tweens, in between. That's where that word comes from. But I don't know for sure that that's a legitimate problem or just not being used to it. And I think that will only determine that after release and people have had a chance to either get used to it or not get used to it. Because it could just be that it's a 3D model done by someone who has not done a whole lot of 3D animation before. Doing the best I can, and not terrible, but the uncanny valley is the hardest part, right? So it could be that, or it could be the thing where real videos shot on real cameras at 60 FPS look wrong because they're 60 FPS, and people are just used to movies in 24 FPS, and that's less of a good reason to dislike it, and it's just, we'll have to see which one it is. Okay. Just yes. It will probably take time to get used to it, and it will probably improve as I do more animations. Like I'm going to do more characters and animate them. You get better with practice. That is the whole point of practice. I've always thought about putting something like that on a shirt, specifically a reference to the Insanity cutscene from Run 3. The definition of practice is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Because people always say that's the definition of insanity, but it's less of a useful message. I want to encourage people to practice. In theory, the duplicator could be added as a day one costume, but as long as I'm redesigning characters, I want to take the opportunity. Someone mentioned, I forget who, but someone did point out that, reminded me that the palette swaps are a little samey. By design, they were designed to be as easy to do as possible. And I think the duplicator was like a day one costume for Run 3 for that exact reason. But no, now that I'm adding personalities and ages and all that other stuff, I want to differentiate the characters. And the runner could maybe be pretty average, almost intentionally so. But beyond that, gonna experiment with taller, shorter, different resting facial expressions. Possibly, like, there's no reason they can't have different facial proportions either, other than the fact that I always just copy-pasted. But that, yeah. Ideally, I'd like to figure out enough ways to add variety that you can distinguish at least some of them, like not all of them. Distinguishing 10 different ones reliably is a tough task on a species this simple. But distinguish some of them, and like you could tell if they swapped outfits. So I think I will go until just before the ending. It's a simple ending, but I may as well keep something in reserve, you know? And I fall. I always fall on this level. Not so much because it's hard, but because I don't take it seriously. Though it may also be slightly harder than the next one. It's hard to say. Especially, I think this wall is the easiest. Yeah, it was a small beta or that phase of the beta was small because specifically because I didn't want to, like, if there was something big that I needed to change and that would disappoint people if I took it away, I didn't want to disappoint more than a few people. And so I think I'm going to have to stop here. I did want to make another change before I forgot, so hang on a second. I guess I will mention for the record that Intense Mode is back, and as before, it's basically a separate save file. Infinite Mode will be back, just not at release. It's not quite gonna be ready. I'm gonna shut that down for a moment. As I work on... please bear with me. All right. I can also get do some chat. The game could always be more honesty. Okay. Yes, jumping on the edges is easier because I don't really see a reason to try and make it harder, and for other reasons I wanted the tiles to be slightly... I can break out a drawing program, but I don't think I will. The tiles are slightly wider. They're not flat pieces of paper anymore. They got a little width to them, and a little width to them. If the hitboxes are accurate to that, then a little width makes them easier to land on. What do I plan on doing for Infinite Mode? That is a good question. I can't really show it here, but where do I start? The things I discussed in last stream, I suppose, were adding like extra difficulty modifiers. You can make a level longer, and you have to beat a longer level before you can like save progress. Get a checkpoint. Blind mode, where the tunnel assembles only like 7 tiles ahead or so, and that's just enough to plan your next jump. And you can kind of see where the tiles are heading for further on, but not well. And so that would be another challenge. And probably just up the maximum difficulty in general, where difficulty 99 does actually mean that like 99% of the tiles are missing. 99% of the spaces are empty. Because having looked at the math... Oh, wait, no. 99 it may not be. Having looked at the math, 90% is very possible, and it didn't... despite what the number said, it never actually cleared that much of the space in the original game. But anyway, yeah, I'm thinking of... The success condition would be beating like 80% or something, and after that it just unlocks everything and stops tracking progress. And you can go for 90% if you like. You could go for 99% if you like. Maybe you could go for 100% and you just not have a level at all, nothing to jump on. Let's see. What else for infinite mode? Possibly better generation algorithms. When I was hoping to get it out by release, I was just gonna copy paste the old algorithm, but it's definitely possible to do better. Let's see, another thing when I have time, I was thinking of adding yet another game speed, a slow speed, and it would, like I mentioned, it would be unlockable. That's not going to be the case. It'll just be there. You can play slow speed if you like. The only difference is it's a separate save file, kind of how Intense is. So making progress in slow mode does not give you progress in normal mode. But it's making progress in normal mode does give you progress in slow mode. So if you're not ready to take on a level 50 at full speed, you can do it at 60, 2/3 speed or whatever. Maybe 3/4 speed. Might not need to be that slow. And it would, I don't know, you could practice precise tricks or something. I could have sworn this one was possible now. Not that it wasn't before. Yes! I don't think it's faster. Even with the slowdown, it's not a pause anymore. Well, maybe. I don't know. But I think if I jumped that one better, it would have worked. Yeah. Okay, question. Can I play this like Run 2? Not nearly as easily, of course. And obviously once I get to the top, I just fall out rather than running on top, but should be doable. If I'm precise. I made that jump despite being slow. Because being slow isn't the problem, it's your sideways movement that's the problem. And I had enough of that. I could have sworn it was possible with Runner, though much harder. I did actually test it in Run 1. Like the Flash version, the released Flash version of Run 1. It is possible, though it is close to pixel perfect in that one. Whereas this one I can do even not being ready for it because I fell off the wall when I was trying to climb the wall. And it might actually have been faster in the Flash version of Run 1, because that one is all about how many times you rotate gravity, and it saves a rotation. Or 2, maybe? I forget. But the world record speedrun doesn't use it, possibly because it's 20 levels in and about pixel perfect. You weren't able to get it. Yeah, it's very difficult and requires... Oh, I wasn't sure if I wanted to showcase this bug or let you find it for yourselves, but I guess I have showcased it. Yay. I clicked out. Oops. So it's actually not from there. You don't get it from here. You don't have enough sideways speed, so that is a change in the physics. You get it from here, and I think you actually grab the upper one. I think you... Whoops. I need to jump properly. And not lag. That's probably stream lag. Or lag caused by streaming. But you don't actually hit the wall. You hit the out-of-bounds plane that forces gravity to turn. And you hit it at such a point that... Because after you hit that plane, your fall speed is reset to 0. And your fall speed being reset to 0, you move forwards and not so far down, and actually manage to land on the edge. And I think you have to jump from there to actually get up, because you're halfway below it. It's a different jump from this one, but I was able to get it multiple times. Oh. And I thought it was possible in Run 2 as well, actually with the runner. But it probably similarly difficult, and wow, I am falling right back out the moment I land. That shouldn't be necessary. Wow, it is so consistent. I am falling back out the moment I land. What if I tried this? That doesn't help. The speed you get from boosting off an edge is less than the speed you can build up by running. Well, I was able to do this a minute ago. Why am I not? Okay. I think I used coyote time. Maybe not. You don't want to overuse coyote time because you do still fall before making the jump. And that makes the jump shorter. And also, the fact that you're falling downwards means it's a less powerful jump because it has to cancel out the momentum, the downwards momentum. Whereas on the ground, it doesn't have to cancel anything out, and you can get a full jump. If the community seems to prefer the old one, I would consider it. Oh, well, that was a bug that I have yet to have time to squash. Sometimes you hit an edge of a tile and you jump sideways. Or you bounce sideways. Like, I'm not sure you even need to jump to get sideways momentum. It can just push you. I would demonstrate it on stream, but I have already uninstalled Flash Player. So it's... I definitely only got it on normal speed. But other than that, I don't really have any tips. Well, other than the thing I previously said about having to land what looks like a decent distance too early. And after you rotate, you have to jump or you will still fall. But yeah, it's definitely on the very edge of possibility. I know one thing that would immediately improve the animations is if I could use scaling. I could well, improve. I could make it look a lot more like the original. If I could squash and stretch the arms and legs, because they do stretch out sometimes, or squash against after hitting the ground. Yeah, I don't remember what I said way back when, but I have mentioned to someone, and I forget if it was on stream, but I have mentioned the possibility of that. Yeah, I could maybe make a mobile game that probably combines Run 1 and Run 2, because I can't really release them as Run 1 and Run 2 on mobile because we've already taken that name. Run 3 is just known as Run. So releasing them as a collection would be an excuse to A, bundle more into a single app, and B, give it a different name that isn't already taken. Oh yeah, this is, as far as I recall, the only level that has been changed. It's longer. It's basically the Run 3 version except square and missing a single platform. The Run 3 version would have a platform over there, but I didn't think it was necessary for this one. I mean, you saw me run through most of the levels earlier. Could time it based on the video. Oh. Oh, menu strats. Oh, right, the menu. You asked earlier for a hotkey to quit to menu, and now I'm realizing why you asked for it. Honestly, I'm not sure I want to leave the menu strats in. I like the animation, and it adds a slight change to the physics that might be interesting to have in a speedrun. And if nothing else, it leaves in design space for me to adjust timings. I think maybe what I will do, and that will actually fix, you know how I started the stream by falling through the floor? And that's because the level wasn't loaded at the time. I can fix that, and also disable the menu strats by just when you come in here and when you when you load up a level, instead of you being there, sheesh, what is with this spawn point? It's spawning me too far back. Or is that part of the level? It might be part of the level. Where'd my progress go? Oh. Right, this is technically a different save file. No, okay, so that is another bug that sometimes comes up, is you spawn behind the level. Not a huge deal, realistically, but slightly annoying and would be nice to fix. Anyway, what I was getting at is, when you load up the level from the level select menu, I just play the level transition animation. Displays the level number, gives the level a little more time to load, and shoots you in. And you don't save any time by going to menu because it's the same amount of delay at the start, and it's certainly less delay than the start of a Flash version level. A 2D sprite is technically allowed, I just haven't done it. It would be possible. Just wouldn't keep up with the times, and Run 3 will eventually have to disable those entirely. For when I just do all the cutscenes with... well, eventually. Probably sooner rather than later. Run 3 will not be able to use them, but there's less of a reason for Run 1. But I don't think... well, okay, I did implement them in Away 3D. I did not implement them in Runaway, but that is less of an obstacle, so it's... I did the 3D model because that's what I want to use in the future. But as far as porting the first game in the series, it is possible to bring it back. In terms of toggleable options that will not be available at release, there's also going to be an option to play the shortened version of the song or the full version of the song. No, it's not... allowed is a weird word. If anything, it would be incompatible, but it's not incompatible. And I'm sorry if I gave that impression. You know what? Let me see if I can test the thing right now. Begin gameplay. So I think I've tracked down the part of the code where I... Oh. So the trick is, the trick will be to place the character near the section, but not in, while still getting the correct spawn point. Which where does that even happen in the code? I know I'm doing all this off screen. I'm hoping it will be quick. Maybe that. Let's go give it a shot. Oh, there was an error. Of course there was an error. I'm getting my data types confused. I tried to use a point as a number when it is actually 3 numbers, and I need to extract only one. I am rambling. Oh. Okay. More errors. Minor ones. Compiled. Oh. Oh, interesting. So there is a level 1 specific bug. Where if you start level 1... if you start level 1 from... well, no, that's not true either. Okay, so how does this even work? I'm afraid this became more complicated than I had hoped. Or maybe it doesn't have to be. At least not for now. Oh wait, yes it does, because that's not a standard thing. Okay, so after that, I may have done, pending a few more compile errors. Does that fix the compile errors? It does not. think we're compiling. Oh, wait, we already compiled. It was over there. So let's... and it crashes. Crash is easy to fix, at least. And hopefully with that, it's able to do a nice little transition. Seriously, it crashed on that? Okay, this was not as simple a task as I thought it would be. Will you at least compile? Maybe not crash. Okay, just like that. Crash, doesn't compile. Crash, doesn't compile. Compiles and works. Just boom. Not working. And I know this makes it slower, but this is exactly the sort of thing I want to catch before release so that I'm not taking it away after you've already made speedruns with it. Because if you do that, you still have to wait through the whole animation. It also, I notice, saves the rotation you had. Which is fine because it doesn't affect anything. But I go here, I pause, so I've gone upside down. And then I do the menuing thing, and I'm actually still upside down, so it turns all the way back around. That will actually not happen if you quit all the way to the main menu. Not that it matters. But if you quit to the main menu, the stars will remain rotated on here and on the main menu. I'm just looking at this little cluster here. But if I go in, it's still rotated. There's still a cluster there. But it rotates back the moment I enter. And that is because of some behind-the-scenes stuff that you honestly shouldn't have to care about. Shouldn't have to. Probably don't. Yeah, as far as menuing, it would make a lot of sense to have left-right space navigate the select screen, but make it relatively easy. But yeah, as far as I put all that work into the nice level transition, may as well not encourage speedrunners to skip it. Man, I'm just realizing... Oh wait, no. It's not so bad in Run 3. I was thinking for a second, wait, if you have to quit map and pick the level from the map, but then I realized, no, wait, there's a shortcut. I made the shortcut. I put the shortcut in. Overall, I think it makes a lot of sense to do it this way. Anyway, we have been at this for looks like an hour, which is fine. So I think this all works. I'm going to have to close. Oh, as long as it's compiling, why don't I read some more chat? Oh, did I not fix the hand? Oh, I probably have been alerted to the Pastafarian hint since the last release, and it's changed in the code, and it's just I've never done a release. Lag. Well, there is a pause when you load up the game. It's annoying, but it's loading. It's loading the various terrain models. I think it's loading the runner. And I think the big thing is loading the music. It's muted, but it still loads it, which maybe I don't have to do. But I wasn't able to get rid of the pause for loading the music. I tried to put everything on another thread, and it helped. It helped massively. Actually, as far as I recall, it worked perfectly with the models, the 3D stuff. But the music still just holds up the whole game for a frame. And it won't be visible on Quillmath because they've got a splash screen anyway. But it will be visible in other places. This would make the game slower to run? I'm not sure I believe you. You can't skip the animation in the existing version on the leaderboards. So the thing I've just done, this, is not really any different from that. And I am fairly sure it's a shorter animation, so I think overall it's just faster. Run 4 already exists. Not an official one. I mean, I believe someone tried to do it, but I don't think they... I'm not aware of anyone who has done a great replica of this. I guess mostly the level of detail that has gone into this. If someone is willing to put that level of detail into a game, they're going to make their own game. But it's interesting to hear that someone has attempted it. People do, from time to time, come to me and say, hey, can I want to make my own version of this for practice or whatever. And I'm like, well, since you're asking, and once we go over some basic ground rules, basically, don't make any claims to own the series, and don't use any proprietary assets. You can attempt to remake it. It's just not going to be easy. So I think, yeah, as I said before, we're wrapping up. I got distracted answering chat. Just gonna check a couple things. That looks... and then I have an announcement to make. Because as I posted in the description, and as I said earlier in the stream, the beta is going to be available before the 12th. And guess what? Right this minute is before the 12th. I have literally, as I speak, gotten the notification that it has finished, and so, in theory, if you go to the address shown, it will slowly load up a game. Already got music. And just like that, you should be able to try it for yourself. And I am going to put it on pause in order to and with that, I'd like to thank you for watching and wish you happy gaming. I will be in touch and perhaps be making updates. Full release will be pretty soon, hopefully. I'm on Ubuntu, and I mean you can see it working for me. Obviously, double check scripts and ads and stuff. I don't think ad block should be getting in the way, but never know. It has messed up in the past. Well, messed up. It has flagged things that were labeled as ads as being ads, and semi wrong, semi right. Yes. Yeah, there's no ads in this game, and I don't think there is anything that can even be mistaken for one. It's just it's happened before. I can't guarantee that Infinite Mode will be in the release, because it will take some more work to do, and there is a limited amount of time. So anyway, I will be signing off. You should be able to get in touch on Discord later. Maybe not immediately, but I will be there. And I will see you next week.